Welcome to BlockchainTalk. Today we are going to have the topic about the Metaverse real estate. A lot of people actually talking to me, reaching out to me, saying that okay, what is the Metaverse? And then I heard about a lot of people actually buying a house in the Metaverse. Actually, is building out a housing market there in the Metaverse. And what's going on? And then today I'm going to give you a little bit concept and then firsthand. First experience and what is the metaverse, the real estate and housing market looks like. Okay, so we know that the metaverse become very hot topic after the Facebook changed its name to Meta and then building up the Facebook metaverse infrastructure in virtual world. And actually, Facebook actually is much more looking into the goggle, more like a virtual reality industry, and then they're not saying that this kind of metaverse. But the real things happening is that so there are a couple of the metaverse project is going on. Actually, it's very hot topic in the market as well, and then it's raised a lot of fund, and then have been locked a lot of the assets into certain projects. The most famous one will be like Decentraland, and then also the sandbox. Roblox hasn't get fully jumping into the crypto world yet, but it still has the kinds of the concept and then the metaverse idea. And then so you can see that so in the crypto world, the metaverse project is a big different from the whatever the Meta, the Facebook is doing. Okay, Facebook is much more building the infrastructure and then try to break through in terms of the VR. As I mentioned earlier in another topics, another post is that so Metaverse actually combined with the big area of the industry and technology. Number one is the VR, virtual reality industry. Number two is the internet technologies, which now is more actually in terms of the Meta, Facebook. They mentioned that Metaverse is the post-mobile internet era, right? The third one, it will be the virtual world industry. Virtual world industry. Virtual world is not a game. It's different from the game. Okay, the last one will be the blockchain and crypto world. So that's the full, based on my understanding for now, is the full understanding about, I think it's much more, has much more meaningful, the metaverse. Okay, so many of the metaverse the project actually now they're locking a lot of the capital. I think it's the Oversight, the Sandbox, Beyond Earth Online, Webverse, Decentraland, Neo Token, Tokyo, NFTverse, and then Nanoverse. A lot of them, this kind of metaverse the project is already in the crypto. They have been locking down, but the price is up and down, up and down. I think most of them actually already lost capital, market cap. About many of them are 90% actually lost. Okay, so this is we cannot. It's really hard to tell. It's the kind of fraud or the market speculation yet. Is so early to saying that. For example, there's one called the Decentraland. Actually, I think it's the real project. So they do have some of the real meaningful things. But the price, the market price actually is now in the bear markets. Even I think it's a Bitcoin. Bitcoin price is jump from the 40,000 now is about 19 or 20,000. Actually is straight now, so for a period of time already. So we are knowing that actually now is the bear market, and then so that's why, and many of the NFT projects, and then also the Metaverse project now their price and the market actually is really bad. Looks really bad. Okay, many of value have been wiped out already. Actually, okay, but there is still a lot of concepts going on. And based on which one, layer one is that the metaverse real estate, which means that we are building a housing. Because the metaverse actually, there's a big concept that you're building your house into the the scene, in the scene in the metaverse. And then many of the platform actually is based, we know that we introduce the NFT concept. NFT, which stand for non-fungible tokens. So which means that kind of the token is differ from the traditional fungible token like the ERC20, BNP20, and TRC20, this kind of the fungible token. Now it becomes a non-fungible, which means that one token is unique. They are different from the other tokens in the world globally, and based on that, they are able to use that token. Actually, it is connected or link, or we call it tether, to a real asset. This asset can be anything, as small as a coffee cup, and can be as big as a car, right? A car, a jeep, or even bigger is a house. That's how the metaverse real estate come into being, right? Once the token are able to back and link to tether to anchor to a certain real asset, that asset become meaningful. So it's really powerful for the blockchain technology is that the token can tether, can link to any asset. That's kind of the concept of the digital asset. Digital asset have been into being about, I think it's about more than 10 years already. A lot of people have been actually knowing that this kind of concept in the real world. The reason why that we are not talking about the ICO. Okay, the ICO actually is the time is gone already, totally gone already. Now there are many of the blockchain or crypto project. You need to have the token. If you don't have the token, I think it's really so not doable, right? It's not the idea about this decentralized application time now. Yeah, because this is now, if you are into the new digital economies, you cannot avoid decentralized technology and architect. I understand that maybe Meta and Microsoft and some of the old internet company and some of the software company, they are still adapting the centralized things, right? Centralized diagram, right? Something like that. But the decentralized is already come into being and become very important, especially in the crypto and the blockchain domain and in this industry. That's why, as I mentioned, that the metaverse as combined with the virtual reality, mobile internet, and the other virtual world and the blockchain, and the crypto. The crypto is that actually building up the digital economies by the decentralized way. We are not talking about you have to fully adapt whatever the DAO, right? Decentralized autonomous organization. This is kind of the governance faction. No, you don't need to. But most of the cases, and many of the now is the new NFT or whatever the blockchain technology and platforms, especially for the metaverse, the projects, they all have the tokens. It really depends on, we all know that when you are issuing a token, either in the public chain or in your private chain, it's all about your fund. Where is your really fund get into being? Into that, how are you going to sell that token? And how are you going to categorize your token? What's your meaning of your token? The token means security or the utility is really up to the regulators and also the project owners to define it. That's beyond this topic. We can have open up another topic talking about what's the actually meaning about a token. But now here we're talking about the NFT because we introduced the NFT concept, which are able to, some of the tokens are able to tether and link to the real asset into a token. And this token now specifically is the housing, as a house, right? The real estate, that kind of asset, right? This will building up a capital market. This market will become a real estate market in the future. And now it's also come into being. There is when the Decentraland, the project of Decentraland, an early stage, there are an asset actually in the Decentraland. I think is they are selling it for about 400 million US dollars. Yeah, USDT, right? Something like that. It's worth of the 400 million of the DT US dollar, and then going to resell it instantly about 500. I think it's a 5 million. Yeah, we call it 5 million. The original price is 3 million something. Yeah, 3.5 million, and then reach that, and then they can resell it. And then for 5 million US dollar. I think it's called Metaverse Group or something like they're doing this kind of, maybe it's market speculation, okay? They're manipulating the price. That's another story, right? But at least at that point, a certain point of time, that asset of the land in the decentralized land has the value it costs. And there is a transaction, actually it's a cost about 5 million US dollar. Okay, this you cannot ignore it, right? This is just the elephant in your house. You cannot ignore it. So we don't talk about we are not talking about the regulation, because a different country, right, and different regions, they have a different regulation, and the government have a different legal and then also law, and then to regulate this kind of market and activity. But in the future, we are thinking about an ideal situation. Actually, is everything is regulated, and the government also the crypto friendly, right? And then this kind of the NFT back asset has come into being. I think in many countries it's legal, right? Okay, and also be regulated. And then the special case is that one or some people actually link it to a real estate and the real house. We can say that there is a legal issue. You can have the lawyer, actually, the real estate lawyer can actually write a notary, and then the certification saying that, okay, we had already, they had some of the legal advice, right? And then saying that, okay, this house actually selling in the Metaverse is really actually equal to the whatever the rights, right? The legal, actually, all the concerns will be handled by the lawyer in the real of the Metaverse, the housing, right? And then people can say that. So one of my friends in Toronto, she sold a house, I think using the Bitcoin. Yeah, I think that's back to 2018, and she sold her house, and then later on she got Bitcoin. And then she moved to Vancouver. Okay, that's the case. That's happening already. Okay, so but the real thing is that the lawyer actually got into being. Many of my friends, lawyer friends, they think that, okay, can I get something into the NFT domain? So that, for example, we can sending out the legal letter, legal advice to my client, and provide that kind of service using the NFT and then using a smart contract. That's possible. Okay. That's possible, okay? Because of that, so people are able to do a binding their real house. Some of the people actually already reached out to me. They're saying that, okay, when I want to sell my house, and I had the kinds of a series of the housing market, and I want to sell it, all right? Okay, even some of the in the secondary market as well. Basically, actually now in the very early stage is that they're using this kind of the NFT and Metaverse, the real estate, actually doing the fundraising, so that they don't need to use the benefit of that. They don't need to use actually get the loan from the bank, and they directly getting this loan from the Metaverse real estate, and then they has using certain time differences. They're able to deliver real housing in the real world. That's possible. Okay. So I think already that Decentraland already have the real, but now the market is really bad. I can telling you, right? It doesn't mean that I encourage you to get into it now. So I can show you a chart saying that you can see that here, right? Okay, you can see that here. This is the chart of the real estate, Metaverse real estate actually markets, right? It's really actually speculation. Sometimes a fraud project, and then they die into zero. Many of the projects actually get into zero already. But we are just only talking about this is kind of this is kind of the reality. Actually, it's already happening here. You like it or not? So I'm going to show you some of the what many people actually talk to me is that how is the real estate housing, metaverse real estate and housing looks like, and where I'm buying. Usually there's a website for just like they're selling just typical like a NFT marketplace. And NFT marketplace, they are listing some of the asset, right? There is an avatar, right? When you are in the metaverse, you are have an avatar, okay? Your avatar is the ID. Your ID is binding to a certain wallet. And wallet might be a DID or might not be a DID now, but your identification and your wallet address is private, right? And then you are able to use that ID actually to explore, to buy, to build a house over there, and then mint it to the NFT. And mint it to NFT, you can do whatever the legal the connection of that asset, the NFT. You're saying that I can bind it to my real house, and then I have a lawyer certification. This is the promise, and then this is my legal certification. I'm going to sell this one in the real time, and then it is backing into the metaverse. That's possible. Let me show you what is that the virtual house looks like, because many of my friends actually go, okay, what the hell is that? The digital house? How can I say? How can I buy it? And then I buy it, and then the people, the original owner, can copy another one. And then what happened? Okay, that's also happening, because in the virtual world you have a map. Many of the map are saying that okay, this is as long as there's a demand. Many people buying it has different purposes, right? And then actually they can eliminate whatever in the virtual map and then virtual land, right? But as long as the value I come into the of the metaverse, it get into the real life, and then it will become your real house, right? But you don't necessarily. Many of the cases is that people are okay. Mine is the pure digital housing on the metaverse, in the metaverse. If it's leaving the metaverse, it's gone, right? People like that. I think especially for the COVID time, right? Many of us, for example, we are doing the work from home, right? And then we can jump into a housing, right? Just like an office, it's a virtual office. You don't. I don't care about the how much is that. For example, 500. Some of the real housing is cost my 5 million something, right? Or 50 million something. But the 500, I can do the same thing as that. You can virtually log in and teleport into your office and have a meeting and showing out the people, and then you have a coffee. You have a table. You have the signing I call the conference hall as well, right? And a lot of people are doing the introduce or doing the marketing, promotion, or everything happening in certain area. As long as the people get into there, that situation, that location become value. Location. That's the real estate gold, right? Is that as long as a lot of people come into there, they become the value. And then that there is the market demand. People are going to buy that. Okay, so that I show you what is the virtual world and the metaverse look like. It's more like this, right? And then you can work. Okay, you can work. I think you can work into. Let me see. You can work into. Okay, let me work into this hall. Okay, sorry. Let's get into it. Okay, you see, it's a big one. Okay, we can work out. Okay, we can work out. Okay, we can work out, and then we can also fly. Let's get fly. Okay, you can fly. Oh, yeah, we can see it. Right, this is all. See. Yes. So this is you can see this is a house. We can look back. You see this is a house. You can buy it, right? You can buy it. This is the kind of things. You can buy this land, the whole land. Right? It's somebody actually building this land, and then you can buy it a certain price. For example, $1, 1 million. As long as there's a transaction, somebody buying it, it has the value. Okay, so that's the Metaverse the real estate. Okay, so you can see it. So this is kind of becoming the future. There might be a lot of the things going on over there. As I mentioned, the floor project that might be going on, but the human being, actually the human civilization is moving in this direction. That's the first experience that I'm showing you, the Metaverse real estate, the Metaverse, the housing market. Okay, follow me and subscribe me in the BlockchainTalk. Okay, thank you.